that's the other way around, okay? It means the features will keep the same order as in the sound description. So the first one here, hi, okay, will be the first one here too, hi, okay? So it will keep the same order. As I said, I think this is the only thing I think linguists made for, I don't know, complicating things, right? So they should have just put the same order in both, but anyways, they decided to change the order with the consonant sounds. With the vowel sounds, no problems. It's exactly the same order, you know, downwards as you can see. So high back tense, high back tense. Okay? Remember, we start with height, then backness, and then tenseness. So let's take that same example, but let's change it a little bit. So we have a high back tense vowel, which is U, right? Let's now change into the counterpart U. Okay, so we have this U now. So what would be the sound description for this sound? First of all, the first thing we need to take into account is the height or highness of this sound. So which classification based on heightness would U be? Is it a high, mid, or low vowel?
High.
It's a high, okay? It's a high vowel. Good. Now, if we go into the backness, is it a front, central, or back?
Back.
Back. Good. Okay, so we have high back. However, if we simply specify high back, I am also including the other high back vowel that we just saw, right? So I need to go into the third category or the third feature, which is tenseness. So is U tense or lax?
Lax.
Lax, good. So this is a lax vowel. So high back lax is the sound description for U, right? So if we go into the feature specification of U, we follow the same order, okay? Which is different from consonant sounds. Consonant sounds, the order is inverted. Now the order is the same. So we go into the feature specification now. So we say high plus high.
Plus high. Okay.
Good, very good. Plus high. Back. Back.
Plus back.
Plus back. Good, plus back. And tense. And tense.
And lax, we have E, E, and A. Is that right? In the vowel sounds, of course. I wrote. I mean, I draw a chart here where you explain that tense and lax. That's what I said. Tense.
Yeah, tense vowels would be E,
E, and A.
A. No, tense vowels would be
E and A.
E and A. These are the front tense.
Exactly.
And then we also have U and O, which are the back tense.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. The counterparts of these will be lax, which is the E, the U, and the O. Okay, and in the case of the A, they don't have that tenseness distinction, so you don't need to specify tenseness with those. For example, this, let's say a, you don't need to specify tenseness because simply they don't have any tense lax distinction. So you only need to say low back. Okay, low back. And then here we say minus high plus back. And this is the description for this sound. Ah. It's a low back vowel. Okay. Do you have any other questions?
What about the long A or the
Ah,
lax A?
this one?
The one that is longer.
This
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Ah. Well, this is a low front, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a low front vowel, which means here we only change plus or minus. So minus high, minus back. Any other questions? With the sound description, I think the sound description is the most challenging thing here because if you write the sound description properly, then the feature specification is just a matter of going into the chart and seeing, which features have plus, which features have minus, and then obviously knowing the right order in the feature specification. Remember that for vowel sounds is the same order, but consonant sounds is upward. So the sound description, I think, is the most challenging aspect. As long as you have the sound description, the rest is easy. Okay. Okay. The first part of the practice is giving the phonetic description. By the way, I want to also, okay, after after explaining the practice, I will also explain something real quick about how you can also do the feature specification. Okay, so look at this. The second part of the practice would be just giving the sound description and the feature specification. The first is just a sound description. So just write with words the different features of each of the sounds. Okay, these are individual sounds, so no problems at all, right? So the first one, say this is a whatever, voice, voiceless, or is it alveolar, whatever. Okay. The second half of the practice would be now having some sounds, in common. I mean, some features in common in the sounds. So look at this. This will take some thinking and analysis, okay? And then just write the features, the sound description. Remember just the description that they have in common, the features that they have in common here. If they only have one in common, they just write one. If they have two, they just have two. And then, the feature specification, you will just, write there, with plus and minus. Obviously, I will share this with you. You can take a picture if you want, but I will also share the slide presentation right after my explanation, so you can do the practice and then answer some questions after that. Something I wanted to show you. Let's say that we have this, let's say, let me give you an example, an easy example.
Why don't you use one of the practice, professor?
Okay, maybe. Okay, so let me give you this. I will see maybe that. Let's see how we can manage that practice so you don't take that long. So, anyways, let's say this. This is another way you can do feature specification, which is like a something that I think all the teachers know, which is the Venn diagram. You know the Venn diagram for comparing and contrasting two things, that two circles, whatever is inside is in common, whatever is outside is different. Well, it's the same here. We have this way of doing it. Okay, so whatever they have in common, they just put it in the last space, and whatever they have different, they just put it here. So, for example, right, obviously you do the sound description for both of them. So one is voiced, alveolar, stop. The other one is obviously voiced too, but you don't specify it, alveolar, nasal. So what they have in common is that they are both alveolar, right? Plus alveolar. And what they don't have in common is nasality. So one is plus nasal and the other one is minus nasal. Okay? So here you can write voiced, okay, if you want, right? So you can just write plus voiced because both are voiced, and that way we make sure that the t is not going to be included. So you say plus voiced, and then we have like a phonological Venn diagram already done. So the features in common are all in the lowest part, and then the features that are different are here. Okay? Any questions? This can be done with any sounds, even though they're not related at all. Okay? You just simply, if they are not related, then you don't write anything here, and then just write here, like individual feature descriptions for both. If they have something in common, even if it is just voicing, okay, for example, let's say the, okay, in this case the only thing they have in common is voicing, so you say plus voiced, right? This is plus labial plus dental, and this is plus alveolar. So the other one is fricative, so you write plus fricative, plus labial, plus dental, and here you say minus continuant, okay, and then you say because it's a stop, and then you say plus alveolar. So here you have a Venn diagram done already. The only difference, the only thing they have in common is voicing. Both are voiced, but one is fricative, labiodental, and the other one is stop and alveolar. Okay. So this is just a different, let's say, presentation, but it's exactly the same thing that we already did, but it's just a different presentation. I am showing you this because in the workshop you will have some examples like those, but very easy examples. So don't worry, nothing like really, really challenging and complicated. So let's just have a practice. You also have, I think, in the previous slides, I'm not sure if the first or the second class, I think it was the first class, I gave you, first and second, I gave you the consonant and the vowel chart. Okay, so just go there, get any information you need, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Let's just do the practice real quick, and then we will discuss the practice also very briefly.